Hey, welcome guys. Welcome. Another one of our Slant Alpha adventures underway. And really kind of a cool one. We're going to be doing something a little bit different tonight. Not really a full-fledged, charted out A to B to C type flight for you this evening, but something a little different. As you can see, we are here in the Blackbird Simulations FG1D Corsair. And that Blackbird is a spin-off apparently of MilViz, so for those of you who asked why didn't I get the MilViz instead of the Blackbird, it's the same thing. This is indeed the one. And many of you might be familiar with the Corsair being designated as the F4U, produced by the company VATSIM. This is technically the FG1D, built by Goodyear, but you can see it is indeed the same exact identical spec of aircraft. It was just the fact that in order to increase production of the Corsairs during the World War II era, the Department of Defense actually had several different companies building the same aircraft. They just gave them different designations. So this is indeed the same thing as the F4U VAT Corsair. It just happens to be modeled after a Goodyear version of it. So that's what we are in, and we are in this because later on in this stream, and if you were with us on Monday, you saw kind of a preview version. Later on in the stream, what we're going to be doing today, and this is, what are we, about 4 or 5 days early for Armed Forces Day in the United States, coming up on this Sunday. But what we're going to be doing for you today, and we did a little bit of it on Monday night, we're going to be taking this Corsair through the Airshow demo. The Virtual USA Flying Club's second annual Club Airshow happens 1 month from today, June 15th, Saturday, June 15th at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 1700 Zulu Time. And I am going to be the third performer in the first half of the show. They've got, I think, somewhere between 18 and 20 performances lined up. I'm number 3. So I'll get mine out of the way nice and early, and then I'll be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the program. So we'll be doing an airshow demo, and I'm going to be practicing that. You guys saw some of it on Monday. I think you saw like almost one complete run through on Monday. Now I have, those of you who were here, I did strike 2 of the maneuvers from that list. We had a list of 8 maneuvers. I've got it down to 6. Reason for that is my demo was a little bit long for the time that I'm going to be allotted. These are pretty short demos, 8-minute demos. So I had to cut the maneuver list from 8 maneuvers to 6 maneuvers, which worked out just fine because I was very, very sloppy on the knife edge pass, so we went ahead and took that out. And then what was the other one I took out? Knife edge pass and the other one that I sucked at. The one that was supposed to start as a low speed, high alpha, high angle of attack pass, and then we were going to jam onto the war power and just brute muscle out of that high alpha into a climb using just the full war power rating of the engine. So we've stricken that, so it's going to be all high speed maneuvers for the 6 maneuvers that I have left in the show. So we'll go over that in a little bit, but first I wanted to spend the first part of this program just checking out this new scenery add-on. You can see that we're sitting at, well, you might not be able to tell by looking at it, but we're sitting at Ocean City Municipal, my home airport, and I don't think the terminal building is quite that fancy looking. I actually haven't been down there in a while. Maybe they've done a little bit of building since I've been down there last. I don't think the terminal looks quite that fancy though. But maybe I have to spin past there tomorrow and check it out. But this is so it looks a little different. The reason it looks a little different here at the airport is because the whole city is going to look different. We found a friend, I don't even remember, I think it might have been Steve PHL, found that there was a scenery add-on that was posted in flightsim.to for a number of regions of my home state of Maryland, and Ocean City was one of them. And what the developer of these this series of add-ons has done is taken a Google Earth converter tool and generated a flight sim 2020 add-on from the Google Earth data and imagery. So all of a sudden, then the Ocean City, Maryland looked pretty convincing just in the stock sim. But with this add-on, at least from the YouTube demo video that the developer posted on YouTube, that was posted in our couple of our Discord circles, it looked stunning. It took the city from looking like 80% there to what it looks like in real life to like 98% there. The YouTube video was very, very good. Now, I took the drone camera over the city just now, and it didn't seem like it had quite the level of detail that we saw in the YouTube video. I don't know if that's a question of my settings. I suspect it was a question of I had the drone camera about 10 miles north of where I have the airplane parked, and so it was not drawing everything with the same level of detail that it will when we get the airplane close to those images, close to those objects rather. So I guess the proof will really be in the pudding when we get this thing up and airborne, and we'll take it out over the beach and up over the city, and I'll give you a little tour. Now, we've done, ever since Flight Sim 2020 came out, I've done probably 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 tours of Ocean City for you, just because it's a place I love so much. I always said that it, for pretty much my entire adult life at least, and even through some of my childhood, I considered it my home away from home, and now it is my home. So, but we'll give you a little aerial tour of it, and we'll see whether it looks as good as it did in that YouTube video that we saw just a few days ago. And again, thanks to, I'm almost 100% certain that it was Steve PHL that stumbled across that and made sure that I was aware of it. So thank you, Steve, if you're lurking here tonight. Speaking of those that are here in the chat with us, ELW124 is with us. Whooper is here. Hey, I got your message earlier, by the way, Whooper. I will definitely take a look at what you sent me there as soon as I get an opportunity to, hopefully tomorrow. JJ is back with us, and M-Stein is here. Just tell him not to call it the OC. Yeah, no. We already, in the real world, M-Stein, we already have enough of a battle just differentiating Ocean City, Maryland from Ocean City, New Jersey. They are two very, very different places. And, of course, the OC refers to the Orange County, California, although there's also an Orange County, Florida. But the OC refers to Orange County, California. And I had quite an amusing member with a family member, quite an amusing mix-up with a family member of mine looking for the agency that I work for on the web and stumbling across Orange County, California by accident, which I'll tell that one off stream. But yeah, so the OC has lots of different meanings to different people, but for us it's OCMD almost exclusively, just because we like to differentiate ourselves from all of the other OCs that are out there. Anyway, we are in the OG FG1D Corsair. And we are going to get this thing up and running, and we'll do ourselves a little aerial tour. We are connected to VATSIM for this. So I figured our mission tonight is twofold. Number one, we're going to take a tour of Ocean City, Maryland with this scenery add-on, see how we feel about how the sim performs. But then the second part of the show tonight will be the airshow practice. We'll do that out at the field where the airshow is taking place, Galesburg, Illinois. But we will do that offline because technically, outside of the waiver that the club got for the airshow performance, airshow maneuvers are considered special ops, and so we'll do our special ops off of the VATSIM network since we're not under the waiver of the performance until a month from today. But anyway, so let's hop into the aircraft and let's go ahead and get going. Whooper says, man, I got to get back into MSFS. I missed this. That bird looks pretty funny. Yeah, it really is. It's really nicely done. Again, MilViz is the developer. They've spun off, I think their more real-world training resources are still under the brand of MilViz, but they've spun off their commercial sim products into a company called Blackbird, as I understand it. So, but that is indeed what we are in today. Let's cycle the parking brake, make sure that I do have that parking brake engaged. And yeah, I do. I think it tends to pop off sometimes, though, if I'm not careful about what I bump. But I do think that everything is, all the controls are synced as they should be. Yeah, we should be good here. Alright, I have already changed the loadout. If you notice from the outside, you'll notice that we took off all the armaments and all the drop tanks, and then on the inside, you notice we took off the gunnery, the gun sight, and the gunnery components as well. So we've got all that unloaded. We have it into our nice, lightweight, lean, mean airshow performance machine. And so here we go. We'll go ahead and start the startup sequence. It starts by cranking the prop around by hand a couple of times. That helps to get the oil moving through the cylinders before you crank up this giant radial engine at full power. You want to get that oil moving back and forth. This is one of the 4 double WASP engines that you would have on that DC-6. It is the very same Pratt & Whitney double WASP engine spec. We'll get the fuel selector into reserve, which is that forward position there. Prop and mix can go full forward. Throttle can go up to about 10%. Magnetos will go to both 1, 2, and 3. The battery switch can come on, which is down here. The fuel pump can come on, which is quite loud. We have the primer for a 5 count, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll go ahead and start it. And it does come up indeed right to life. Right there. I'm going to set the manifold to about 15. And we'll hope that the RPMs get up to about... Oh, we don't have any RPM indication because I don't have the engine instrumentation on yet. You can turn the fuel pump off. Engine instruments on. Okay, now we've got the RPM indicator. Set the manifold, to about 12? Does that seem to work? Okay, and that sounds are a little light in my headset. Let me pump them up a little bit. The mix, I think, is probably okay there for you guys. The engine's still a little quiet for you guys, too, huh? Let's set it about there, see how that works for you. I think that'll work right there. Okay, we'll crank it in my headset just a little bit now, too. Okay, I think we should be good mix-wise there. If you guys feel otherwise, let me know, but I think we are all right. So engine instruments, and I think there's a radio master switch down here as well. Yeah, there we go. The wing pin can be unlocked, and we will get the wings into their unfolded position. Oh yeah, ELW says we might see some good aircraft in the real world area. Got the Dover Air Show this weekend. Indeed, just up the road from here by about an hour, I would say, is Dover. Man, now I'm feeling like the engine's really quiet. Well, okay. Radio master wing pin. Okay, canopy is closed, and the cooling flaps can all come open. We'll push those all forward. 1, 2, and 3. At least the engine flaps will come open. You'll be able to see those. Alright, we're going to set the altimeter. Altimeter should be reading basically 0, as the field elevation here at the airport is indeed basically 0. Doesn't seem like that knob does anything anyway. Okie doke. Alright, and what is the CTAF for Ocean City is 123.05, so we will get that set. I don't know if I've got where the radio controls are over here. I think it might be easiest if I just do that here in the vPilot. Of course, just if you need it, you can do some cheat here. COM1 123.05, and you can see that it has indeed done that. And then we don't need to monitor both. So if I go COM both, it'll toggle that to COM both on or COM both off, and you can see COM both off is now set. We are on this bogey 2-3. So my grandfather, whose World War II uniform, hat, and flight helmet was right over here over my right shoulder. He used to fly these things for real. He flew them out of Cape May. And then he flew Hellcats and Wildcats. Wildcats, he flew on the USS Bogue, which is why we've gone with the call sign Bogey, and then 2-3 represents the year he was born. He would have been 101 this year. Came back from the war, died very peacefully at age 95. About 6 months before I had started live streaming. Alright, I think we are good to go, guys. We can go ahead and cycle the parking brake off. And tell you what we will do real quick before I get rolling too badly is let's figure out what runway we're going to use here at Ocean City. .330 at 11, so we got a runway 14 and 32. That's our primary one. So we'll use 32, which is the one that comes in over the beach. That's normally the one that's used here, from what I know. Ocean City traffic, bogey 23 taxiing out to runway 32 for VFR northbound departure, Ocean City. Alright, I know the flaps are not set yet. We'll get that taken care of on the taxi out. When we close the cow flaps, we'll open the wing flaps. So we'll do flaps and flaps. So if we're taxiing out to 3-2, we should be taxiing in a 1-4 direction. So as I make my left turn here, make sure that the compass spins around to a 1-4, and it does. Simple vertical mounted compass. Well, I guess we do have a directional gyro here, huh? Never even really noticed that. Alright, cow flaps closed. Flaps 20. Ocean City traffic, bogey 23. We're going to be departing runway 32 on the left downwind, VFR eastbound over the beach, and then northbound, Ocean City. Yeah, no, I knew ZDC was going to come on. This is a non-towered airport, and we're all going to be in class Golf and Echo airspace, so we won't be needing to talk to them. No, I mean, we could get flight following, but we're going to kind of be on a somewhat unpredictable path, so there's really not any need for it. Alright, as we come around to 3-2. There we go. Go ahead and get our takeoff power set. Now when the tail comes up, oh, now it's nice and loud. When the tail comes up, it will kick to the right or kick to the left. Yeah, I've still got to get a handle on that. And then right there at about 100 knots, we'll fly it away. Gear up. Flaps up. Power down just a touch. No, yeah, it's non-towered here. Alright, yeah, it is kind of loud now, so let me know if you need me to turn the engine sounds down. Looks like it might be okay if I some nice and close up to the mic like this. Oh, we're at 1,500 feet already, too. Alright, let's drop some power out. Mix is okay? Alright, thank you. Alright, so we took off on 3-2. Get around to a 1-4. Here's our airport. Ocean City traffic, bogey 2-3. Is on the left downwind. We're going to turn northbound over the beach. 2000 climbing to take a pass over the city. Ocean City. We're still climbing. Can't stop this thing from climbing. Bringing the power as far back as I can now. Well, this is already starting to look like it did in the YouTube demo. But man, this is looking like it does on a nice summer day. And it is terrible weather here right now, so I did change it to nice VMC, nice visual conditions for us today. Yeah, the Indian River Inlet's way up there. This is the Ocean City Inlet. This is the north end of Assateague Island, and this is the southern end of what is technically called Fenwick Island. The whole landmass is called Fenwick Island, but Fenwick Island, Delaware, is the municipality up here. This is the Ocean City Inlet here. This is the US 50 drawbridge, the draw span right here on the very eastern end of the span. And yeah, this is already looking so much better than the stocks in. Indian River Inlet's way up further north. There's we got the big the eye, the Ocean City Eye, and then the regular Ferris wheel, the regular Trimpers Ferris wheel. The roller coaster was rendered. I wasn't able to see it on that pass just now. Maybe we'll try and look at it as we come back. Let me get that left wing down for you so we can. Let's see. There's Jolly Roger Amusement Park. We've already passed the Grand Hotel. Does the scenery go up to Rehoboth? I'm not sure how far it does. It was billed as Ocean City, Maryland. I'm going to turn around because we missed some really fun stuff here. This plane is just too fast. Too fast and powerful. We're going 200 knots and I've got barely any power in. And she still wants to climb. But the sim performance is looking good. It's nice and smooth. I was concerned that this scenery was going to add just a ton of lag to my sim, but that does not seem to be the case. Turning back around to the south now because we just missed a ton of stuff. Let's go back down and look at the roller coaster. And then as we come up, I'll show you the hotel that they use as show center for the Ocean City Air Show. The show center is 16th Street. It's the Holiday Inn, which is right here. And then I was looking at on the drone camera. You can definitely see it says Holiday Inn right on the side. Like this is just the level of detail in this thing is just staggering. Templar Searing says, hey, I spent some summers there. Hey, well, if you ever get a chance to get down here again, look me up, man. No joke. Look me up. Happy to drag you out for a bite and a beverage and talk a little flight sim shop. I work here now, year-round, full-time, and I live like right across this bridge. Like this is my neighborhood right here. I've taken another pass at the downtown Ocean City Inlet. Shorten up the prop a little bit, but bring all the power out. doesn't seem like it's going to yell at me like most planes do when I do that. Basically, we had all the power out. I'm going to drop the gear and a notch or two of flaps. You grew up north of Baltimore. Okay, I've spent some time up in the Hereford zone. I was originally Towson and then Harford County, and then spent some time up in the Hereford zone. So there's the the Ocean City Eye, the Tidal Wave. And I could set this down right on Coastal Highway, right? Yeah, the Hereford Steer. Yep, indeed. Yep, you can definitely see. So this Holiday Inn on 16th Street is show center for the Ocean City Airshow, which typically happens in June, but it will be happening in August this year. That definitely is the Holiday Inn. It says so right on the side. There's the Grand Hotel, that semicircular shaped one. Yeah, seeing a little bit of loss of detail there, but not too bad. Still looks pretty authentic from normal distances. Could be cool if you could pick up a banner. Yeah, right. I'm right at the right altitude to do that too. Are the ruins of Playland? If you're talking about the Playland that used to be on 65th, no, it's not, because that's where I work now. Something else there entirely. We'll just say some town assets are there. Here's where we're talking about. So this is where it used to be the old Playland. Oh yeah, the convention center. Yep. Yeah, the old Playland down at the boardwalk is still there. This is the original Playland though, and this is now a complex where I work. Yeah, I did see the convention center. I'm going to take a good call, ELW. Let's go take a low pass to the convention center. Convention center sits at 40 and 41st Streets. This 90 bridge comes in at 62 technically, and then like I said, my neighborhood's right over there. So you have this bridge that goes to the island, the Isle of Wight, and then the second bridge that goes to the mainland side. And my neighborhood's right off the bridge on the left-hand side here. Used to stay right across the street at the Driftwood. Well, the Driftwood is another asset that my agency purchased and repurposed. We actually still call that building the Driftwood, even though it's a completely new building there. So the convention center was at 40th, yeah. So there's the back end of the convention center right there. Yeah, I don't actually remember the Driftwood too well. I just know I know of it because we have a facility there now. So here's Jolly Roger Amusement Park and Speed World there. You can definitely make out the go-kart tracks. Yeah, Secrets is at 49th, and then Fager's is at like 59th, I think. Coming back around to the convention center again. front end of the convention center. There she is. Visitor center right here, the circular one at the bottom. And the Roland Powell Convention Center. And then there's Secrets right there. It's their complex. I think I have that right, yeah. And then let's not hit the radio tower. Up here north of about from 80th to about 120th is what we call Condo Row. It's where all the high-rise buildings in Ocean City are. It really starts more like mid-80s to 120th, but you can see here. This one here is the one of my parents who used to own a unit in. They don't anymore. They live down in Fort Myers, Florida now. This one's called Pyramid. This one is Princess Royale. Try and put a little bit of right rudder in so we can keep the wing down. And then Northside Park, very interestingly, Northside Park is soon to be getting an instrument approach procedure because they use this soccer field here as a landing site for the State Police medevac helicopter. Most often Trooper 4, but whenever one of the State Police medevacs is needed there, most often Troopers 4, which comes out of Salisbury, just a half hour's drive west. But they will land Trooper 4 at the Northside Park, but they're going to put a GPS approach to it so that they can do that even in questionable weather. So this here's 54, Delaware Route 54, and so this is Fenwick Island. But it looks like north of about this point, it looks like that scenery cuts off, and I think we're back in the stock scenery. So yeah, if you were asking about Rehoboth, it doesn't look like the Google Earth scenery extends that high. The skating rink is the Carousel. That's at 118. We run down there. Yeah, I'm going to guess that that's the scene between the add-on scenery and the stock scenery right there. But that also is where the town of Fenwick Island stops. Delaware Seashore Park starts up and heads up to the north from there. But yeah, this Google Earth add-on is stunning, and does not seem to be adding a crap ton of lag to my sim. It's performing pretty well here, I'd say. We'll take a run past the Carousel because the LW wants to see. Indoor skating rink. Airspeed, like and drop another couple notches of flaps. So there's 123rd. There's one of my favorite restaurants right there, 127th. And this first one here might be, yep, this Carousel even says so right on the front, ELW, that's the one you're talking about. Right about there, indoor skating rink. back in. Oh, you got some friends that work down at the Quality Inn? Very cool, very cool. Next time you come down to visit, y'all, let me know. Ocean City traffic, bogey 23 is about 5 miles north, 1,400 descending. We're going to be on our right base, runway 32. Alright friends, let's get some predictions into the chat as far as the vertical descent rate at the moment the wheels touch runway surface. No bot command necessary, just a number, positive or negative. Representing your guess as to the descent rate at the moment the wheels touch. In terms of feet per minute, bot command not necessary, as we said, and also the minus sign is even optional. We know they meet a descent rate either way. Should we practice the carrier brake? We're a little slow for the carrier brake. Let's practice the carrier brake, guys. Ocean City traffic, bogey 23 is 2 miles north on our right base for the initial on the overhead carrier brake, runway 32. Alright, speed's coming up, altitude's coming down. Overshooting the turn. But it's okay. This is just our initial pass, and then we're going to brake high and into a power off 360 to land. Ocean City bogey 23 is on the overhead brake, runway 32. Ocean City, full stop. Alright, power out. Brake upward. And then into a power out. Flat turn, about 1,000. So we're at 3.2. We're going to turn it around to 1.4. As soon as we get on the downwind, we'll get the gear and flaps. And I'm picking up some extra altitude. I'm trying to get that altitude and speed bled off here. That's the purpose of the carrier brake, is to get to the carrier as quickly as possible, and then just let all the power out and the speed bleed off, get configured, and then go ahead and drop it onto the deck. Okay, 1,000 feet. There's our deck. Go ahead and get our start configuring. A little bit of power back in. Ocean City traffic, bogey 23, left down 132, full stop. Ocean City. And then as soon as we're beamed the numbers, we'll go ahead and turn it on in. Just a nice gradual 180 all the way to the ground. Well, it wasn't so graceful. Not an easy maneuver. Well, it wasn't terrible. Oh well, Templar Searing says Hunt Valley, my old company Micropros was there. So yeah, I lived in Mays Chapel for a little while, and then I lived in Hereford for a little while, and I know Hunt Valley very, very well. Woo. Ocean City traffic, bogey 23 clear, runway 32, but Ocean City. Alright, flaps are stowed. Cowls are open, canopy's open. Hunt Valley as in the place by the giant hole? Yes, that is the same. One and the same. Hunt Valley just north of that Texas rock quarry. Yeah, right there near the old McCormick. McCormick factory and headquarters is still up there. Depending on which way the wind was blowing from my house in Mays Chapel, you could tell which spice they were running that day. Which spice the factory was making that day. The wind was coming out of the north. On Valley Sprawl or mall, yeah, pretty dead mall these days. Of course, as most malls are. Actually, the indoor mall is no longer there. They changed it around to big box stores with outdoor access. Alright, parking brake is on. Yeah, speaking of malls, it's crazy that Rose is still there. I can't remember what's on the other side, but that's still there too. So yeah, the Acme grocery store is still there. Rose's just shut down this past weekend, Mr. Rogers. Just this past weekend. They're going to knock that down, put the new Acme there, and then the back half of that property is going to be redeveloped. Finally. It's been vacant for, what, 20 years. But that just all got finalized over the past couple of months. $201 was what registered. Not too bad, not too shabby. We'll take it. Dr. Monocle came in with 143, ELW with 150, Fashion before DPS. Also hit the follow button a little bit ago. Or no, that was a resubscription a little bit ago. Fashion before DPS, thank you so kindly for the continued financial support of the channel. Truly appreciated. 143, 95, 100, and 250. So yeah, I think the 250 is going to have it with the 201. That's only 49 away. you would have had to have been 152 or higher to get it on the low side, so Dr. Monocle was just a little bit too low. So Templar of Syrinx. Of course, I've been singing that Rush song ever since you popped back onto the stream as well in my head. We are the priests of the Templar. I know it's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Alright, well, you got an entry into our monthly landing rate raffle. The next drawing is going to be on May the 31st. Don't need to be here to win. We'll contact you if you happen to be the winner that day. Your choice of Slant Alpha merchandise or electronic gift cards up for grabs if you happen to be one of the winners. Let me grab a sip of the beverage here, and then I know I got some friends to say hi to in the chat. So the verdict is the scenery add-on is stunning. Anyway, running back through, I don't know if I said hi to Iowa Scotsman earlier on. Let's see, who else popped in that we didn't get a chance to say hi to? The Dr. Monocle, Passion Before DPS again, the resub, thank you kindly. Kenny Monster stopped in. We were talking with Kenny Monster a little bit during the break. The overhead break, rather. Mr. Rogers, of course, we said hi to. And 26.2 Relax Portal just popped in as well. Alright, very cool. Well, the verdict is the Google Earth scenery for Ocean City is awesome. It does not seem to add too much lag to my sim, so when we come down here and I type Ocean City, Maryland. So this is what I was saying though before though. So this is the add-on that we were talking about. We don't need the ad. This is the add-on that we were talking about. And so obviously it uses the Google Earth Decoder tool and then some optimization tools, but it works stunningly. It didn't add too much lag, and yes, the detail is this good. That is my parents' building right there, the one that I'm sorry, my parents' building. They had a unit in this building up until last year. We talked about Northside Park, and the restaurant right next to Northside Park that my wife and I like to go to. This is Jolly Roger Amusement Park here. We looked at the roller coaster. We looked at the Ocean City Eye, the big Ferris wheel that's down here for part of the year. Talked about my neighborhood right there off of the 90 bridge on the west side. Yeah, very good, very good. But the other thing that I noted was that this same person, well, somebody different has done Ocean City, New Jersey, but this same developer has done the same thing to Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland, and Salisbury, Maryland. So, and Rockville, Maryland. So this person, I guess, is a fan of the area or a resident of the area, or both, and has generated these scenery add-ons for a bunch of my home areas. So, Mr. Rogers, there you go. Yeah, it's not necessarily the airport, I don't think, but certainly the town. If you wanted to do a nice little aerial tour of the town, I know Frederick's got some really neat little historic downtown areas you can check out. So yeah, so all available on flightsim.to. Very cool. Tabletop Android is back with us as well. Oh, and Civilization. We're talking about Microprose and the game Civilization. So my brother-in-law, and I forget which version of Civilization, my brother-in-law, Studio Fiddler and Bluegrass Fiddler, and he is on the soundtrack to one of those. my wife's brother. Alright, let's go ahead and get this thing shut down, shall we? With the engine still running, we'll unlock the wings and fold those up. And once they're stowed, we'll go ahead and pull that pin to relock. Canopy is indeed open. All the cooling flaps can be closed. We'll see those engine caps go to closed. Hired musical thug would be the accurate description. He was a studio performer based in Nashville for a while. From the Hereford area, based in Nashville for a while. And now he's got another permanent gig. Yeah, right, Lauren? Hired musical thug. Pretty much, right? Alright, the cooling flaps are all closed. The radio master... looks like I already turned that off, perhaps. I didn't intend to, but maybe I accidentally clicked on it. Engine instruments, throttle can come all the way down. Mix can come to cutoff. Prop lever down. No, I thought it was an apt description, Templar. I didn't see anything wrong with it. Magneto's off, and fuel selector off, and battery off. And I think that battery will automatically reclose the canopy, which I'm not sure why it does that. But there we go. Alright, so our tour of that Google Earth add-on to Ocean City, Maryland was successful. I think let's go ahead and call this mission 1 complete. And then let's go ahead and reboot out in Galesburg, Illinois. And we'll do another run-through of the Virtual USA Flying Club Airshow performance that I'll be doing 1 month from today. Good Fixins is here. Nam 106 is here. Awesome, 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 guys. So those of you just joining the channel, the Ocean City Google Earth scenery enhancement is glorious and runs wonderfully in my sim. Does not bog the sim down at all. It's nice and smooth and gorgeous. So that was part 1 of the stream. Was a nice detailed tour of the of my hometown. My used to be my home away from home. Now it is my home, Ocean City, Maryland. But let's get back out to Galesburg, and we'll do another run through of my airshow performance coming up there 1 month from today. We'll just set it to 1 p.m. local time. Let's go ahead and set it to clear skies. Yep. And we'll park there, and we'll go ahead and get out there. Lauren says, our next stop is Naval Station Great Lakes. We'll try a landing on the USS Wolverine before deploying to the Atlantic and hunt down some U-boats. Yeah, there we go. That sounds like a mission. Alright, let me take it from the top of my little flow list here. So once again, for those of you just joining, what we're working on today, 1 month from today. Oh, that's, I think, same thing happened to us last time here. We want to scooch out. And we're probably fine. Let's scooch out away from the fence just a little bit. But 1 month from today, our friends at the Virtual USA Flying Club are putting on a Virtual USA Flying Club Airshow, second annual. I did not get a chance to participate in last year, so this will be the first time I will be able to participate, and it's happening on Saturday, June the 15th. And of the 20 or so performances that are going to be scheduled for that day, my performance will be the third one in line. Yeah, the flying show was a lot of fun, says Tabletop Android. Yeah, indeed. So I will be performance number 3, so I'll be very early in the program. 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time is the scheduled show start, so I should probably be going at about 20 after, I would think. 15 to 20 after 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time on Saturday, June the 15th. I'm going to be doing a performance in this... oh, that's your birthday, 26.2. Well, happy early birthday. Happy whatever it is, years and 11/12ths. What did I just drop? I'll have to check. And Kenny Muster says, I can fly this for the next vintage cross the pond, and I'll be your wingman. Yeah, very nice. So a month from today, we will be performing this in as the third performance of 20 or so of the Virtual USA Flying Club Air Show, and happening out here at Galesburg Municipal Airport in Illinois, a non-towered field, kind of, what did we decide it was? A little bit south of Fort Wayne, I think. I'm sorry, not Fort Wayne. Where is it? South of Tri-Cities, I think. Quad City, south of Moline, west of Peoria. So that's where Galesburg is. This is where we were approved to have the show last year, and this is where we've been approved to have the show once again. Chicago Center's staff is aware of it. They're going to be kind of holding the airspace for us to a certain extent. VAT USA has approved us to do this show, and the way they work it is if someone does want to come in and out of the airport, which they won't, except they're going to see a cluster of airplanes there, and they're going to wonder what the heck's going on. Other than that, this airport doesn't see too much traffic. That's why probably why it was chosen. But if someone wants to use the airport just from the general VATSIM public, they'll be allowed to in between performances, but the center controllers will be working with us to make sure that that we can cooperate with them but coexist with the show. So it's been given kind of a special waiver from VAT USA to do this. There is another air show that performs annually up in Abbotsford in British Columbia, Canada, so it's not unheard of. It's not unprecedented on the network, but it is kind of a cool special thing that we get to do. And so I'm going to be doing a run-through of my performance here for you momentarily. This portion tonight, by the way, though, will not be conducted on the VATSIM network because we do have a special dispensation to be able to perform that show on the 15th, but we weren't given any special exemptions in order to practice. So all the practice that I'm going to be doing for you today will be taking place off of the network. However, I guess if you want to kind of sit here and spectate and are able to load into the sim on the multiplayer US East server, you probably will see me passing back and forth if you want to do it that way. But I won't be on the VATSIM network, and I won't see or hear you. Kenny Monster's a team player. He says, I can patrol with the F-16 Scareway any inbounds. I'm a team player. Yeah, very cool. All right, so let's take it from the top, and let's do a run through. I have, like I said, I trimmed this down to 6 maneuvers, and this is kind of what I have over here as my reference. We're going to take off in the 2-1 direction. I'm assuming that we're going to use 2-1 if we have to flip-flop all of this. If we have to flip-flop all of this, we can. If real-life airshow pilots get a waiver for the 250 under 10K, yes, as long as they're in the what they call the performance box, good fixings. If they're within the specifically defined performance airspace, then yes, they do. And I think we were told 5 miles up to, I forget what altitude. I'm going to be I'm going to be within that. I'm going to be within 3,000 and within 5 miles. I don't know what our box is cleared up to in terms of max altitude. We're going to take off, but if we have to flip-flop the runway directions, we will, but assuming we're going to be using 2-1. We're going to take off in the 2-1 direction. We're going to do a high-speed low pass coming back in the runway 3 direction. Then in the runway 2 direction, we'll do a double aileron roll, and then we'll come back in runway 3 direction. So we'll do 2 high-speed low passes in a row in the runway 3 direction. The first one will be right side up, the second will be upside down. In the then in the 2-1 direction, we'll do the vertical loop, and then the 3 direction, a vertical aileron roll with power on stall. Basically, we're going to go to the vertical, snap it to the snap aileron roll, going up vertically, and then we'll just let it power on stall, and then we'll recover it out into in the runway 3 direction, so that when we reverse, we're going to be coming down to 1 again, and then that's when we'll do our carrier brake and landing. So I did cut out the knife edge pass, and I cut out the low speed high alpha pass that we're going to then we're going to muscle out of it at full rated war power. So we cut out those 2 things. This is now basically 6 maneuvers, and in an 8-minute time limit, we should be okay there. But back up to the top we go. I do want to resync the levers, make sure that they are all in the same positions. We'll resync the parking brake, and there we go. We'll go ahead and pull out the chart board. Battery switch can come on. We will take away all the armaments and drop tanks. And then we will take away the gunnery stuff, and then we'll go ahead and throw that chart board away, and then battery switch can come back off. Alright. And we'll start with an open canopy for the beginning. I'm going to crank this around once. And crank it around twice. Alright, fuel selector goes to reserve. Prop and mix forward. Throttle to about 10%. Magnetos go to both. Battery on. Fuel pump on. Primer on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Off. Starter engage. Comes right up. Oh. I think the parking brake unset itself when I pulled the chocks, so I'm gonna have to switch my checklist to recycle those parking brakes once I've done the wheel chocks. Okay, but the fuel pump can come off. Instruments and radio master can come on. All the cooling levers can go open. And wings go spread. And locked. And closed. I don't think I missed anything there. Alright, the field elevation at Galesburg is about 760, so the altimeter does seem like it's set correctly. However, for airshow purposes, I'm going to go ahead and set what they call QFE. I'm going to set the altimeter setting, which causes the field to read like it's at 0 feet. The reason that I feel it's probably done that way, makes most sense to do it that way, is that as an airshow performer, you don't want to have to be doing a bunch of math in the air. Oh, wait a minute, what's the field elevation today? It's 1,100 feet. Okay, then I need to start this maneuver at, what's it, 1,100, 1,500, 2,600 feet? You know what I mean? If you start a maneuver at 15, you want to start that maneuver at 15 regardless. You don't want to brain fart, start it too low because you forgot what field elevation you're at today, and end up going into the ground. So I would expect, I don't know that this is a fact, but I would expect that an airshow performer might go ahead and just set QFE so that their reference is to the ground height, the ground elevation, regardless of where they are. Certainly how I'm going to do it. Alright, but I think we are ready. And again, we're not on VATSIM, but we can practice our calls at least. Galesburg traffic. Bogey 23, taxi down runway 21. Galesburg. Of course, I guess our traffic calls on the day of the performance are going to be like, Air Boss, Bogey 23, short 21 ready, you know. Air Boss, Bogey 23, cleared in the box. Bogey 23. Don't know. We'll figure out that. I guess we'll go over some of the communication stuff in the briefing the day of the show. But it certainly won't be full of standard traffic calls. Where does one learn military VATSIM jargon? There are some documents out there, Templar, if you Google them. A lot of them are published by the ARTCCs for the controller staff to know. I've picked up a tiny little bit over the years, just casually. And then, of course, I know some of the basics of the overhead brake phraseology just from being a VATSIM controller. But yeah, certainly I don't know too much about it. I've picked up just a little bit of casual stuff. Thank you, ground vehicle, for driving right through us here. Alright, we're going to assume we've been cleared into the box. It's 8:15 now. Now, I think our timer doesn't start until we pass the threshold coming back on our first maneuver. But just for curiosity's sake, it's now 8:15, and we'll just assume we've been cleared into the box. Now, I know this thing does need a kick to the right once the tail comes up, and I'm never quite prepared for it. There it is. And then I over-control. Oops. And I over-control the corrections. That time I under-control the corrections. So there's 100 knots, so we'll go ahead and get airborne. Gear up. Flaps up. Set 45 and 25. Let's see if we can get back on a 2-1 heading. Oop, oop. I was trying to fly that at a 120. I guess, yeah, maybe climb at a 140. I want to take this up to 3,000 rather than 2,000 for this first pass, because the first pass is supposed to be the high-speed pass, but if I've done it from 2,000, I haven't quite gotten enough high speed up and running. So we'll try it. We'll try it coming down from 3,000 and see how it works. Alright, there's 3. Power out. Inward. Up we go. Spot the runway. Power back in. add a ton of down trim. I gotta keep remembering to put a ton of down trim in as we do that. Down to under 100 feet. Right up the center line, not too bad. 50 feet. That's not bad at all. That worked out okay. Alright. Pitch up to the 45. 1,000. 2,000. Invert. Spot the runway. Gotta look for that little cluster of houses every time. That's going to be our point there. Okay. Power back in. And the double aileron roll rolling toward the show. A little bit of up elevator just as we come down. Ah! Well, I guess we'll have to practice that one. Yeah, I tried to. So the idea is, as you go inverted, you should push the elevator up, just to push forward on the elevator, just to keep the nose right on the horizon. And yeah, I didn't give it justice. So I had consciously put a lot of down trim in for that first low-speed pass.
We're all fine here. No,
but on the second pass,
how are you?
I kind of want to have a little bit of up trim left in it, because that's exactly what will happen if I don't. Anyway, we'll go back and we'll do that again. Now the Comanche is A2A simulations, and this is MilViz. MilViz does the 310 though, I think the Cessna 310. Is that right? We will start that one over. Let me get my levers back, switches back, everything back where I started it. Yeah, no, you're not a moron. It's impossible to keep it all straight. All right, take two. All right, so where we are, back to the top here. Oops, battery load out. I do wish it would save this configuration. Yeah, break it till you make it, right, indeed. Yeah, but as I went inverted on each of those two rolls, I was trying to push forward on the elevator a little bit, just to keep the nose slightly above horizon, and it did barely just did it, not enough. Fuel selector can go to reserve. Prop and mix full forward. Throttle to 10%. Magnetos to both. Battery, fuel pump. Wait a minute. Radio master's already on. Okay, battery, fuel pump. We'll go primer, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Primer off. Starter. And fuel pump off, engine instruments on, radio master on. Selector to main. Getting to the point where I can get this thing started in about 2 minutes. Oh, cockpit's already closed, so we'll just leave it closed. Get that relocked. A nice outdoor outside shot of it. Oh, the okay. So we don't have to do the chocks in the little chartboard thing. The chocks and parking brake are basically the same control. I see what's going on. And I messed up the view. So now I got to recenter the view here. Alright, so now let's go all funky with the view. Okay, that puts it back. Very good. Okie doke. So once again, QFE. And then let's we open these up. All right, and let me make a note on my little flow list here. When I'm changing the loadout, I need to leave the chocks set. Alright, we're ready. Away we go, once again. Let's see if I can control the takeoff a little bit better. I think I was focusing too much on the airspeed. I think I need to focus more on the center line and glance at the airspeed. We'll see if that works a little bit better for us. Cow flaps, wing flaps. Alright, cleared into the box at 8:26 Eastern. $8:27, we're applying takeoff power. That I wasn't ready for. There's 100. Let's take her up. Gear up. Flaps up. 25 and 25. Let's climb it at 120. feet. Power out. Around we go. A little house cluster there. Power back in. Still only coming up to about 280. I wonder if there's something else I can do. Make this first pass a little higher speed. Five up. 1,000. 2,000, power out, invert, over we go. Power back in. Alright, this is our double wheeler on roll this time. Let's just see if we can clean it up a little bit. Better. Alright, next one is our inverted pass. 45 up. 2,000. Power out, invert. Come around. Now the third finger. Coming right over the show line, or the crowd. That's bad. Otherwise, not too bad. Whew, all the blood's rushing to my head. Wasn't too bad otherwise. We'll have to practice that one to get the line right. At 2,000. And then what is this, the loop? I think this might be the vertical loop. Got off the line here a little bit. So this is going to be tough to recover. We're starting this far offline. Off speed as well. It's not too bad. Not too bad. A little sloppy on the line, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And then this is the pièce de résistance. Oops. Still gotta get that line right so I don't go over the crowd. Gotta work on those course reversals, get them a little cleaner. This is where we're gonna go dead vertical. Snap it around. And we're just going to let it fall. And as soon as it starts to fall. Come out in the... I suppose we're coming out in the wrong direction. Came out in the wrong direction. We're going to come out facing runway 3. So we'll have to invert. Go over the top one more time. So we're doing this maneuver in the 3 direction. So let's try it again. Up top. Now we go. She's falling. Off the power. Yeah, there's 3, okay. Square up the view. There we go. That's how we wanted to do it. Fly her away. Reverse one last time. There. Coming for a nice low high-speed pass and then pull up into a carrier brake. Brake at the far number. So 1 will brake at the, if we were in a 3-ship formation, for example, 1 would brake here, 2 would brake right in the middle, and then 3 would brake right here at the ends. Power off, pop up, just going to 1,000, that's all, and then flat turn. Down to 3. We are. Downwind. Power still all the way out. Midfield, flaps gear. I'm gonna beam the deck. Power still all the way out. Flaps start coming in. Oh, landing rate predictions. Get him. Landing rate predictions, guys. Sorry.
This is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
Still a little twishy because I keep thinking when the nose starts to go that she's down. And that's just the thing trying to tell me it's about to stall. And I'm going to try and make that turn off when I do this for the show. I keep turning off at the crossing runway. I'm going to try and make that earlier turn off. Open the flaps. Open the engine flaps. Stow the wing flaps. All right, and so we said we took the box at 27 and it's 38, so it's 11 minutes. But we did repeat that one maneuver, so we'll have to try it again without having to repeat that maneuver and get a better sense of the timing. Oh, I know, the sounds are fantastic, aren't they, man? I'll take it all the way to shutdown. We'll take a brief intermission, and I'm going to do the whole show one more time. We'll probably end up doing a couple more times. I know it's early yet, but I'm going to take a little liquid recycling break. We'll shut the plane all the way down. We'll do a little liquid recycling break. We'll come back and we'll start the whole thing over from the power up. I think this is the parking spot we've been taking. Alright, parking brake is on. Get the wings folded. Bear with me. I get the shutdown, guys, and then we'll get the landing predictions. Winner taken care of. Okay, wings are folded and can get pulled. Canopy is open. And close up all the cooling flaps. Radio master and instruments off. Mixture cut off. Properly we're down. Magnetos, fuel selector, and battery. Alright, who was the winning predictor? Hope that you guys guessed on the high side. $243 that time. Sorry for the short notice, but it looks like a good number if you got guesses in. Looks like 200 was the highest. So Relax Portal gets the win there. Relax Portal. KGBG on 515. Alright, friends, and if you're new to the channel, the landing rate predictions get you in the running for our monthly landing rate raffle. Toward the end of every single month, we pulled 2 names out of the fishbowl, And each of the 2 winners gets their choice of any of the Stallion Alpha prize vault items. The t-shirt, ball cap, mousepad, coffee mug, or tote bag, which I will ship to you at my own cost, or the electronic gift card to Amazon, or X-Plane, Org Store, or Sim Market. So those are your choices, and if you happen to be one of our 2 winners on May the 31st, which is when we will pull that the next time, I will get in touch with you, find out what you would like to do. We've got lots of flying left to do, guys. I'm going to take a quick break for liquid recycling, and then clearly I need some more practice for that routine. It's starting to come together. I'm starting to get more confident in it. There's just a handful of things I need to clean up. Get a little bit better on coming down right on the center of that line, so I got to maybe get a little bit better at reading the references off the field to spot those lineup entries, or maybe just get a little bit more aggressive with view movement so I can spot the runway as I'm making that inversion. So we'll run through the demo at least 1 or 2 more times here after the intermission. So sit tight for us, guys. Let's go ahead and get us a nice camera view of Galesburg Airport again. You won't see anybody on the VATSIM network here right now, as we are doing this practice offline, but we will get back to it here in just a moment. Sit tight, friends. We'll be back with you in just a sec. Okay, friends, back with you. And thank you kindly for your patience as we get back to it here on the Slant Alpha Adventures channel. Kilnavok has stopped in. Flying Eli is here. Kilnavok, a couple of things of interest for you here tonight. Of course, I know you may have family gathered around you, possibly. Whether you do or you don't, we've had kind of an interesting stream this evening. Recently found there's an add-on that was published as a scenery modification for Flight Sim 2020. And we checked this out earlier, and it looks every bit as good as it is touted. It's basically derived from not only Google Earth imagery, but Google Earth buildings. And it has been converted over into a scenery that can be added onto the sim. I was concerned that putting that on would, cause a great deal of processing lag, but it does not. The sim runs very, very smoothly with this installed. And yeah, you can see a very familiar looking building right in this picture. I mean, the city looks really, really good with the stock scenery, but with this add-on, it looks stellar. It looks so detailed. We flew past the Holiday Inn on 16th Street. You could see that it said Holiday Inn. We looped past the convention center. The convention center looked perfect from both sides. Here's Jolly Roger Amusement Park here. Somebody was like, oh wait, which is the one that's got the ice rink in it? I was like, oh, Carousel. We're looking at the front of Carousel. You could see the lettering right down the front of the building. It said Carousel. If you get a chance to watch one back from the beginning of the stream, it's a beautiful rendition of Ocean City, almost scarily accurate in terms of the what it looks like in the sim now. Obviously, Northside Park, Bourbon Street on the beach right there. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, 26.2. So this very same developer did a whole bunch of different areas in Maryland. So I guess this person must have ties to Maryland because they did Hagerstown, Frederick, they did Salisbury, they did Rockville. So this particular developer, I guess, has Maryland interest. I don't know if if we go Boston, Google. Yeah, there's some. Maybe somebody did. Google Earth Decoder and optimization tools. So okay, so this same process it looks like was done for Boston here. 26.2. So yeah, I didn't know that, but it looks like someone has indeed done it. So there you go. But yeah, Kilnavok, it looked amazing. It looked amazing. We did an entire tour of the city earlier, and now for the second half of the stream, we're practicing my Airshow demo. My Airshow performance is going to be 1 month from today, Saturday, June the 15th at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I'm going to be the third performer in a slate of somewhere around 18 to 20 performers, and we are in the Blackbird Simulations, aka MilViz FG1D Corsair. Very, very similar to one that somebody that you know used to fly. And so been working on my Airshow demo tonight. We had one crash earlier. I did a low pass with a double aileron roll, and on the inverted side I didn't push up enough and had the nose pointed a little bit too much toward the green side, and we wound up crashing. So we are going to try another run through. We did a second full run through. Made a handful of little errors in the demo, but looked a lot better than the first attempt. So here we are after intermission. We're going to give it another try. Thanks very kindly. Good to see you, of course. Hope that if the family's with you, hope that the family's all well. And thanks very kindly for the gift sub that you gave out just a moment ago as well. All right, back into the aircraft we go, friends. Take it from the top. And I think everything, all the switches and levers are in position, so we're good there. We'll go ahead and get the... so this is where I want the view position set, right here. Whoops. That's not what I want. What are you doing to me? on. Okay, that looks good right there. No, what are you doing to me? Why is that not working? Okay. Alright, anyway, we'll just go with it. Let's sync all the levers. Let's sync the parking brakes on. Okay, good. Alright, so let's get the load-in options, load-out options set. We don't need the drop tanks, and we'll leave the chocks as they are. It looks like the gun sight's already off. Okay, so we're nice lean loadout here for our Airshow demo. We'll slide the chartboard back to where it was. And we'll go ahead and open up the canopy. Alright, we will crank the prop through. Uh-oh. Not able to crank the prop through? Oh, there we are. So the click spot is straight up and down, even if that's not where the blade is. So the blade stops over here, but the click spot is still here. That's strange. That's okay, though. Alright, that's cranked through the twice. We'll get that set up to the fuel selector set to reserve. Prop and mix levers can go ahead and be set full forward. Throttle to about 10%. Magnetos to both. The battery, fuel pump, and primer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And starter. And there she goes. Fuel pump can come off as well. And the instruments and the radio switch can come on. Cooling levers can all be opened. Wings can be unfolded. Main pin locked. Canopy closed. Yeah, man, we're ready. So I got that startup sequence nice and tight now, so I should be able to get that started, you know, within about a 2-minute window or thereabouts. QFE is set. So the field elevation here is 760 some odd feet, but we're going to zero out the altimeter just for a ground reference. So when I flip over at 2,000, I don't accidentally have to. Oh, wait a minute. How much above the ground level are we, or how much above sea level are we? Have to do all the math. Blah blah blah. Don't have to do that. We are just going to use 0 feet as our zero reference, regardless of what the field elevation is. So that's done. Go ahead and turn the parking brake off, and we'll get it rolling. We will not yet set the wing flaps. I will get the wing flaps set as we close the engine flaps closed. Wing flaps deployed. We'll do that as we get up to the whole short line here. So June 15th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time is when our virtual USA Flying Club air show will be underway. Alright, and the program is our takeoff, then we're going to do a high-speed low-pass, then we're going to do the double aileron roll, then we're going to do a high-speed inverted pass, then the loop, then the vertical roll, and then our carrier brake and landing. Is that it? Did I forget anything? Nope, that is it. Alright, at the whole short line. Come on. Where's my mouse cursor? There we are. Engine flaps closed. Wing flaps deployed. And we are entering the runway at 9:02, probably 9:03 Eastern by the time we are airborne. It's an 8-minute demo, but I don't think they're going to start the clock until we actually cross the threshold coming back. So we'll see how we go from 9:03. It just clicked over to 9:03 Eastern time, so we'll see how it goes from there. And I always got to remember it's going to want to kick to the right as soon as the tail comes up. I got to be ready for that. Takeoff power set. Never am ready. Over-controlling. Over-correcting. Alright, there's 100 knots. Let's go ahead and get this thing off the ground. Here, and flaps. We'll keep the climb out going at 120. 25 and 120. Got 3 seconds of down trim. Up until 3,000 feet. At 3,000, we might not even need to take the power out in the inversion. Let's try it with the power in. Probably tempting fate with that. Let's go. Still only got up to about 280. Just get a nice low-speed pass here. Low altitude, high-speed pass. 50 feet. Okay, happy with that. Would have liked it to get to fully up to 300 knots, but it's okay. Here's our double aileron roll. If we're going to miss by a little bit, good to miss on the taxiway side because the crowd side is on the left. Alright, correct line. We'll roll it toward the crowd. Once over, twice over, and up. Okay, not too bad. Power out, invert, head at the top, spot for the runway. Power back in. Whoa. Okay, yeah, we're way off the line here. Let's see if we can correct it. This is our inverted pass. way off. And it's way higher than I want it to be. But it's alright. Something to clean up for next time. This will be the vertical loop coming on the 2-1 side. The line's actually pretty good on this one. Started right at the cross. Up we go. Alright. Hey, not too bad. Let's see if we can fix the line. Oh, we're way off here. Alright, come back in. Alright, not too bad. Sloppy on the line, but I gotta figure out how to correct those in loop maneuver. I keep losing my bearings on which way to correct on those. Coming back into 3 direction is our vertical roll. So power out, over the top. Entry at 280. 100 feet, we're good. Right across, we go vertical. Alright, there's vertical. Tailor up. Alright, let it start to tumble. And then when it comes out, yeah, we want to come off on the runway 3 direction, so. Not too bad. Alignment. 1,000, power out. Got this little school, this campus or whatever that is, ball field there. That might be a good reference for us. Although we didn't. Hold on. Okay, yeah, we're offline here. But this will be our final low pass with our carrier brake. Not over the crowd, not over the crowd. There we are. Alright, far numbers. 100 feet. Power's out. Pop it up. Only to 1,000 now, 1,000. Around to 3. Oh. They're downwinds. A little high. Power's still all the way out. Speed's now below 200. We can go ahead and hit flaps and gear anytime we want. We'll hold it off to midfield. Yep, predictions, guys. Predictions. Sorry. Thank you, ELW. Thank you. Predictions. Here. Laps 1. We'll beam the far numbers. We'll start to turn. Looks like over the lake at 500. That'll be kind of a reference point. We'll see how well that works for us here. That was a little nicer. Let's see if I can get into the brakes without putting it on its nose. I'm still off the crossing runway, but that's okay. Huh, didn't even make it off the crossing runway. Okay, yeah, I did come in with a lot more speed on final there. I didn't want to stall it right over the deck this time, so I was probably a little too aggressive on the speed. But we'll take it. Yeah, I was very too aggressive on the speed because I greased it on. You're not supposed to grease these things on. Alright, and we're taxiing in at 9:15. And what did I say? I think we took the box at 9:03. We might be still a little bit long on the time. Yeah, I think I gotta just tighten up the reversals. I think I need to not go as far out in the reversals. A little bit more aggressive with power out right at 2,000 and get the thing going over. That's alright, we'll do another couple run-throughs. At least one more run-through at least, if not a couple. And then what we might do, if there's one maneuver that I'm particularly sloppy on, maybe we'll just do a run-through where we do nothing but that maneuver back and forth a handful of times just to try and clean it up a little bit. Overall, feeling pretty good about it, though. It wasn't a bad run-through. Definitely, I'm not a professional airshow performer. That is obvious from our performance just now. However, as a guy who's done this just a handful of times, I'm not feeling too bad about it. The couple of things to clean up, I think, are very, very reasonable. I'm not going to go through the whole shutdown this time because we're going to take it right back up again. So we'll get the manifold pressure up to 12. And that should bring the RPMs up to 1,000. It'll run a little more nicely there. Alright, yeah, so like I said, carried a little bit more speed into the approach and touchdown, and then greased it on. 46 was the number that registered. So who went low that time? JJ. JJ put in a very nice guess. Where are we, Kay? GBG on 5:15. All right. Very, very good, guys. Very, very good. So yeah, I'll tell you what. As soon as I hit that carrier brake, as soon as I get to the end of that that final initial pass, and I'm popping up from 100 to 1,000, and then I start the 180-degree turn, you guys can go ahead and start putting your predictions in. Then ELW, you were on top of that, so thank you for the reminder there. Now, I will say that the cylinder head temps are reading a touch on the high side. I do not know if engine failures are modeled for abusing this thing. We have not had it in like water-injected war power. You know, I've been keeping it to 45. So, given that fact, I wonder if those cylinder head temps will stay in a range that will allow this thing to keep running. If the engine suddenly lets go, well, then I'll just know that on Airshow day I won't be able to do like 5 or 6 run-throughs first. I'll need to just do one performance and done. But we'll see what happens tonight. If the engine lets go, it's just because this thing is just not capable of being run in maneuver mode for that length of time over and 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 over again. Alright, but are we ready, guys? We're going to give it another run through. Parking brakes off. Go ahead and get the canopy closed. And away we go. Alright, so the goal this time is to better spot the alignment of each maneuver ahead of time, number one. And number two, we're going to tighten up those course reversals to try and just get the demo done a little bit quicker. We're going to get through the 6 maneuvers just a little bit quicker. Alright. Close those up. Wing flaps. Oh, I did have a question for myself. Did I indeed? Yeah, so I did put in. That's aileron trim. I think this thing does call for 6 degrees of right trim for takeoff. So maybe that'll help me with that kick. All right, now that I've screwed that all up, 6 degrees right rudder. And then you know what? While I'm sitting here waiting before I do this, assignments button. Okay. Profile specific. So the bottom button will reset aileron trim. And then the red button set rudder trim, reset. Okay. So let's now see if that works. It does. So if I set .6 degrees right rudder trim for takeoff, and then I reset that. Okay, that works. And then if I accidentally move the aileron trim, that does not work. Okay, so the aileron trim I have to set back to 0 myself. But 6 degrees right rudder trim for takeoff, and then I can just reset it with one click there. That is nice. Maybe that will help us with that kick to the right that the plane wants to make when the tail comes up. We'll see. All right, let's take it away. What's it? 25 after. All right, take off power set. Whoa. No, it didn't really help. Didn't really seem to help, so I won't worry about it. Alright, so 45, 25. Remember, my time is not really starting. Down there for the first maneuver. So we'll climb it out at 120. Power out. Down to a nice low pass here. 97 is when we started. 1,000, 2,000, bang, bang. There we go. Alright, this is our double roll. Rolling toward the crowd. That's not bad. That's not bad. Overshot the roll on the exit side, but that's not bad at all. Now it's the inverted pass. Pass is good, but I want to get it lower. Yeah, Lauren, I was focused more on keeping that nose steady on the horizon rather than looking at the instruments per se, so I think that helped. Power a little too early there. Alignment's working a little bit better. Straight to the vertical. And just let her go. Just figure out where we are. Come out on the runway 3 side, so we want the 2-1 behind us. There we go. Not too bad on this, guys. Looking not too bad. If this was the demo I was performing, I would not be too dissatisfied. Sloppy on the lines there. This will be our This will be our carrier brake. This is the one time that we'll go behind the crowd, because we will be doing a left brake. Nice low entry, 100 feet. Right at the top. 500, we go nose down. Yeah, I gotta get a little more aggressive on the elevator down. Now we can start the predictions. Yeah, 167. Dan, 1066 has the first official prediction. So now we can start the predictions, guys. And keep it right around 1,000. Power's all the way out. Oops, we're picking up altitude. Runway 3. Okay, there's our downwinds. We picked up about 400 extra feet. I'll have to work on that next time we do this one. Speed's coming down below 200. 200 is the gear extension speed on this aircraft, guys. It'll let you drop the gear nice and hot. And then right there, beam the deck. Power's still out. We want to do about 500 feet. Over the lake. We're about 600. Okay, we're looking good. A little bit of power back in. Too aggressive on that power now. Got it down a little closer to the numbers that time, and a nice good final approach of about 90, and I think we're going to make the first turn off here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Overall, if that had been my demo for the day of the performance, whoops. If that had been my demo for the day of the performance, yeah, a couple bounces, that's normal. If that had been my demo of the day of the performance, I was not really dissatisfied with it. A couple more run-throughs just to make sure I can consistently deliver that. Lauren, yeah, I was thinking probably doing that, yes. I was thinking probably just to change things up, because I've done that venture. Lauren's talking about that venture, which is in July, and it coincides with the EAA Air Venture. And we've done the Fisk arrival about 4 times now, maybe 5 on the stream. And I was thinking just to change things up this year, Lauren, you read my mind, of taking this in to that venture this time. I think that's a very, very real possibility. So Flying Eli was no. We are practicing for the Virtual USA Flying Club Air Show, which is June 15th. That venture is a simulation of the EAA Air Venture, not the air show portion of it, but the massive general aviation arrival portion of it, where they have that Fisk VFR arrival procedure that has all those special dispensations where you can, pack them in much, much closer than normal separation standards, and you have them, land on the purple square, or land on the orange dot, or land on the green square, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so it's it's a simulation of that arrival procedure more than anything else. But yeah, we've done that a few times on stream. It's a lot of fun. You know, they do the wing rocks as acknowledgement rather than, you know, two-way comms. All the GA pilots acknowledge via wing rocks so that they keep the frequency free for the controllers. It's really, really cool. The Chicago approach, the Chicago ARTCC does a fantastic job of putting it on every year, making it really immersive. And Lauren says it was a heck of a lot of fun to control. Alright guys, let's see how we did with our landing rate predictions. I get the flap stowed, and I'm not going to run it through the shutdown procedure. We're going to take it up and do... Oh, what was the timing, by the way? Must have been okay. So I think 27 we said was... $145. I'll tell you what. let's get this squared away, and then I think I've got a possibility I can check the timing and be really happy with it here. So 145 was the number. Yeah, we bounced it twice, but that's normal in this aircraft, as it is in any tail dragger. 145. How'd we do? Dan 10 put in the first official one, 167, 75, 187, 150's 5 away, 188, 128, 237, 173. Yeah, 150 from Relax Portal is looking good here. Anybody closer than 5? We would have had to have one. Anywhere in the 140s would win right now. But it does look like it's Relax Portal. Yeah, you got the you got the first and now the third arrival here at Galesburg. All right, let's do. Let's do one more run through just to see if I can consistently deliver that performance. Like I said, that performance was by no means perfect, but it was pretty darn close. Now, the other thing I said I would come back to is the timing. So the way that the time limits are working is when we pass over the threshold coming back for our first maneuver. So when I come over the threshold for that first low pass, and I think I called that out as 27. And then when we started getting the predictions, that was after our last maneuver and we entered the landing pattern. And when Dan 10 put his first prediction in, that was 33. So 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So that's only 6 minutes. So I think that will work. I think that will work. That timing will work. Yeah, tail draggers bounce like heck, as evidenced by the Corsairs that try to land on escort carriers. Yes, indeed. Yeah, these are not meant to be greased on. You just go ahead and plop them on the deck and let the arresting cables do their work. Yeah, it says the cockpit is staggeringly far back. I can only imagine how difficult the nose made short final on carrier. Well, as a matter of fact, ma'am, the reason that they do the approach the way they do, that curved-in approach, they don't even come straight in at all. They do a curve, and then they straighten it out just at touchdown for that very reason, because it gives you the visibility of the deck up here to the left, because that's where you're looking. So that's why that curved approach was made. exactly for that reason. You can't see straight forward in this aircraft, so. Alright, let's take it out one more time. I'm going to try and mark the times. So, like I said, the timing... Let's actually read it. That's... Well, airshow briefing. Okay, here it is. Let's look at the timing rules for this. The 8 minutes starts when crossing show center on the first pass. Okay, so show center. So not the threshold, but show center on the first pass. When the 8 minutes ends, the performer may complete their final pass. So that's the timing rule. So let's see how well we do with the time. Yeah, necessity is the mother of the curved approach. That is how that saying goes. Yes, indeed. Let's go ahead and give this one more time. Again, our goal number one is to consistently deliver that demo that we just did, because overall I was happy with it. But goal number two is let's get a sense of whether or not we can do this within the timing guidelines. So I'll put a mark in the chat when the timing starts, and then I'll put a mark in the chat when the timing ends. Lauren says it would be cool if the two different F4s, the old OG and the more modern F4, were to do a pass together. Yeah, we are working on a formation. So there's four of us that are working on a little formation pass at the end of the first half, the last thing before the intermission. But it's so much more difficult in this sim. I mean, it's not easy just in general, but it's so much more difficult in the sim because you lose visibility of each other so readily. Alright, so what we learned was I'm not going to worry about the rudder trim. It didn't really help. Okay. So we're not going to worry about the time right now, but we'll mark the time as we come over show center on pass 1. Okay, I got the correction a little bit better dialed in that time. Or so I thought, and then out of control. There's 100 knots. Let's go. Oh, I think I've got a lot of down trim in this aircraft right now. So I've got a mark ready to go as soon as we pass show center on the first pass. to take this one up to 3 because I'm just going to try that extra hard. Kind of got offline there. Yeah, I messed that up completely. It's okay. We'll still do it. We're still going to be at... Here's 300. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. So it's pretty sloppy low pass, but we'll accept it this time and try to put that mark in there. Alright, so that was the low pass. This will be the double aileron roll. Way sloppier this time on the lines. Okay, well, nose position was better, line was not as good. See if we can really bang out this inverted pass. Let's get it lined up. Yeah, we're really... Something's really off with the... I don't know if it's a trim thing. Did I screw up the aileron and rudder trim, maybe? I don't know. The alignment on these has been terrible the entire time. Maybe I need to just get off the rudder pedals. Alright, this will be our vertical loop. This will be our second vertical maneuver. Starting on the 3 side. We'll go all the way up and over. Completely 90 degrees, then we'll keep it that cloud right there. Best as we can. As soon as she starts to tumble off, power out. Where's the runway? There she is. Off on the free side. That's not too bad. And this will be our this will be our carrier brake. So when we do the pop to 1,000, then you guys can start putting predictions into the chat. Quite get that down to 100 feet like I wanted. That's okay. 500 and then nose down. 1,000. Picked up the 400 extra feet. Get that taken care of here. Guys can start putting some predictions into the chat as far as the vertical descent rate upon touchdown. 030 heading. There's our downwind. Yeah, we're 500 feet high. Okay, we gotta get better at a flat 1,000 foot turn there. Speed's down through 100, so we can get the gear out now. I mean 200 rather, 200. A little tighter a downwind this time because this is the lake that I was using as my 500 foot reference, and we're at 500 feet, but we're not pointed in the right direction. We'll make it though. Bouncy, bouncy. We didn't make the turn off. But I'm happy. Overall happy. Seven minutes and 31 from the from that first pass. Okay, from the center of that first pass. Well, then I'm well within. That's fine. That means I can take the maneuvers a little bit more leisurely and still be okay. That's good though. That's good. I'll leave it as is. If I'm a little bit on the short side, I'd rather be a little bit under time than a little bit over time. It's close enough. Yeah, we're gonna do one more. That one was much sloppier in terms of the alignment of each reversal. I kept coming up way off show center line. I kept having to radically correct the alignment at the beginning of each maneuver, so I'm not sure what I was doing different there, except I might have had You know, just like a little bit of right rudder in or something. We'll give it one more run through as soon as we get shut down. Is Kitty Monster not here? Did he have to go? He's gonna kick himself. You didn't get a prediction into that last landing, Kenny. I think it cost you a double win. Isn't my prediction default by now? Are you saying that no matter any time I land at 173, I automatically have to give you the win, even if you're not here? I'm sorry, but it doesn't work that way. Oh man, it kind of maybe should, but unfortunately, no, it doesn't. Well, of course, by now you guys know what the winning number is. I gotta award you wins when you're not even here. So, so who does that mean? NAM 106? NAM 106 4 away. Did anybody have 177 or lower? Nobody else in the 170s? Yeah, NAM 106 grabs the win for that one. The mean guess wins. Alright, Flying Eel, I have a good one. I do have a shirt coming, so someone else can win. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It will be, it should be here tomorrow, and then I'll get it on the way to you. But NAM 106 picks that one up. And who was asking whether I am at Galesburg? I am indeed. Alright. No, I'm not on VATSIM, Good Fixins. You gotta be on, I guess you'd just be on multiplayer USA East and you'd probably see me. Oh, you don't see me on multiplayer? Oh. Well, you'll see my alter ego. This is me up here. Yeah, East USA, that's what I'm on. But I mean, I think you know, like, that if you had seen that username, you would have gone, oh, that's him. But I am on USA East, and I am at Galesburg. Whew. And I'm gonna catch my breath, and I'm gonna do one more run through, and hopefully fix the alignment issues. And then I'm just gonna concentrate just a little bit more on getting these no low passes right down to about 75 feet. So NAM 106 is, yeah, I never see you on US Northeast. I was at Galesburg running through my routine for just an hour. Sim, I'm gonna do one more run through of my Airshow demo. So I'll be on for another 15 minutes of flying, and then another 15 minutes of wrap up. So if that means I got a raid coming my way, awesome. And if that means you can send it to somebody else who's going to be around a little bit longer, that's fine too. Of course, you know I always appreciate the support of the channel. Either way, but yeah, we'll. Maybe we'll sit tight if we have a raid coming over. I'll hang out for just a second, see what happens with that, and we can at least explain what's going on to the folks who might be coming over. But if Sim chooses to hit up somebody else, then that's fine too. Yeah, looks like he's getting close to wrapping here. Okay. Alright, well, I'll tell you what, while we're waiting, let's just get a couple of nice shots of the airplane. And then we'll see if maybe he ends up sending the raid over to one of our other friends here. I need the breather anyway. This is actually, of course, I know I'm a big fat guy, but this is actually pretty hard work. For sitting in a chair, it's pretty labor intensive. I am indeed breaking a little bit of a mist here. But this is the Blackbird simulations, aka MilViz FG1D Corsair. There we go. Hey, I thought maybe that might happen. Friends coming over from the Sim Caesar channel. I got an inkling that might happen. But thank you so kindly for the raid there, Sim Caesar. Just in time, friends, coming over from the Sim Caesar channel. Of course, I hope that you all had a wonderful flight with our friend Sim today. But we are just getting ready to do one final run through. I'll tell you, we are getting ready 1 month from today. Yeah, Lauren says there's hardly a controlling session I don't need to end changing out of a sweaty shirt. Yeah, no kidding sometimes. We are getting ready to do one final run through. I'll tell you, 1 month from today, we are participating in the second annual Virtual USA Flying Club Airshow, which is going to be happening here at Galesburg Municipal in Illinois on the VATSIM network. We've got permission from VAT USA's leadership to do this. We're going to have cooperation from Chicago Center to make sure that we're okay to do this. We're going to be performing an air show up to, I think, about 20 performers, somewhere between 18 and 20 performers, performing 8-minute demos out here at Galesburg Municipal on the VATSIM network. And I am going to be the third performer to go. The show, by the way, is going to be streamed on our friend's channel, Jeffrey B. Jeffory B, as in Bravo. Jeffrey B. He'll be the primary broadcaster of the Virtual USA Flying Club Air Show 1 month from today, June 15th, 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 1700 Zulu Time. He will be not only broadcasting the views, but he will be the air show announcer, the host and MC of the Virtual USA Flying Club. So you'll want to watch his channel, Jeffrey B, on Twitch 1 month from today, Saturday, June the 15th, 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I, however, will be the third performer in that show. I will be flying the MilViz, a.k.a. Blackbird Simulations FG1D Corsair. I'll be the third one to go, and I will be streaming my in-cockpit view on my channel while you're able to watch the external view from Jeffrey B's channel. That'll be a month from today. But right now, we're going to go through one more rehearsal run of the demonstration flight. Uh-oh. Good Fixins just tried a high-G maneuver in the Spitfire and passed out. A solid print, how many FPS? I don't know. It's pretty smooth, though. I don't have a meter running to see what the FPS is, but I do get pretty good performance. It's not the newest computer. I got it 4 years ago at this point. It's an RTX 2070 Super. but it does pretty well. And this add-on scenery for Galesburg and the MilViz, aka Blackbird Corsair, doesn't seem to bog it down too much. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to do an 8-minute demo in the Blackbird Corsair, the third performance in the Virtual USA Flying Club show, 1 month from today, but we're going to do a rehearsal right now. You'll see the in-cockpit view of my 8-minute demo in this aircraft. The reason I chose this aircraft, if you look over my right shoulder here, you will see hanging on the hat rack behind me a United States Navy uniform hat, and you will see a United States Navy leather flight helmet. Those things, well, at least the leather flight helmet actually has time in a Corsair, although I don't know if it was the Goodyear variant or one of the ones built by VAT or what, but my grandfather, he was a U.S. naval aviator in World War II. He flew Corsairs out of Cape May, and then in the war he was flying Wildcats and Hellcats. He flew Wildcats on the USS Bogue, which was tasked with sub-hunting over in the Atlantic. He was in, I think we determined he was in Composite Squadron 19, assigned to the USS Bogue in late 1943. One of the most prolific sub-hunting task forces in the Atlantic at the time. So, yeah, I know, Lauren, we were talking about it earlier. The F4U was built by VAT, and then the FG-1D was basically the Goodyear version of the very same aircraft. They just had several manufacturers producing the same aircraft just to increase production. So Goodyear wound up building about 4,000 of the 12,000 Corsairs that were built in the 40s and 50s. Which did he prefer? He didn't really talk about his military service much. I know more about my grandfather's military service from my dad than from actually talking with my grandfather about it. He did make it home from the war safely, and he only passed away a few years ago. He passed away in 2017 at the age of 95. But yeah, so he famously, during his deployment at Cape May, famously did a low pass over the Cape May beach and struck a pelican and had to set down. And they gave him a mounted plaque with the pelican feather that they pulled out of the engine cowling that my uncle still has. So he was trying to show off for all the girls on the beach and wound up having to set the plane down. Yeah, he was a great guy, P-Met. Thank you very kindly. Let's say some proper hellos to the folks who came over to us from the Sim Caesar raid, and then let's get on with this demo. Thanks again very kindly, Sim Caesar, for the support of the channel. Peter Mooney, of course, came over. Ascended Gravity, Monster SD is here. Solid Print we said hello to, and P-Met we said hello to. Eurus Games also with us. Alright, let's get to it, guys. Of course, we could do the whole startup procedure from the power up and wing unfolding and all that stuff, but we'll show you the shutdown at the end where we'll go ahead and fold the wings back up. Oh, I didn't still have flaps out? Yeah, the engine cowling flaps are open on purpose, but I should have stowed the wing flaps. I guess maybe I bumped them or just didn't get them stowed all the way. Alright, friends, but let's go ahead and go. We got 6 maneuvers that we're going to perform for you. Pretty much, and I've realized my target entry speed on this was 300 knots. I realize I am hitting the 300. For some reason, I was thinking 300 was down at the bottom. When this thing goes all the way around and then hits the 300 of the beginning of the yellow band, that is indeed where we are trying to be. So our entry speed is good at 300 where we're trying to be. So that is good. Alright, are we ready? Parking brakes off. And I am gonna confess I'm a little sloppy on the takeoff. This thing needs a kick to the right as soon as the tail comes up, and I haven't quite gotten that down yet, and I have tended to overcorrect. So I tend to be a little bit zigzaggy on the takeoff. We'll see if maybe I can get it. Now that I've got this nice audience coming over from the Sim Caesar channel, maybe pressure's all on. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll crash and burn, or maybe I will get it dead perfect. Oh, I know, yeah. These giant, huge radials. I mean, you think of all the horsepower that that the DC6 has. This is one of the very same engines that giant Douglas DC6 has. It's that massive Pratt and Whitney double wasp. Puts out over 2,000 horsepower. Oh, we bullied Sim Caesar, so we kicked us out? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, these things were notoriously squirrely on takeoff, so I don't feel too bad that I don't have it quite under control. You're all very, very correct to say that. We did come to judge, says Sim Caesar. Okay, well, fingers crossed that I'll give you a good show here. We can go ahead and get the canopy closed and cow flaps closed, and then we'll go ahead and get the 10 or 20. We want 20. There we are. All right, here we go, friends. Power 45. Where's that kick to the right? There it is. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Overcorrected it though. Better at first and then not so good, but there we go. 100 knots, let's go. Let's go fly. Gear can come up. Flaps can come up. 45 and 25. Pitch for 120. We're going to climb it out on the 030 heading, 120 knots, up to 3,000, and then we will start our show. First is going to be a high-speed, low-altitude pass. Coming at you at 50 feet, 300 knots. You ready? Here we go. Half reverse Cuban. Center, there's your 300 knots. Let's get her down to 50 feet, shall we? Not too bad, not too shabby. Alright, up we go. 2,000. Reverse half Cuban coming at you. Power out. Over the top. Here we go. Power back in. Double aileron roll toward the show. Audience on the left. 300 knots, 100 feet entry. There she is. Here comes the roll. And out. Overshot slightly, not too bad though. Alright, third maneuver, high-speed inverted low pass. 2,000, half Cuban reversal, half reverse Cuban coming at you. Power's back in. Show line corrected.
It's an entirely different kind of flying.
Yes, it is. Over we go. Let's see if we can get a little lower. I'm happy with that. About 100 feet. That's okay. Not too bad. Bring it out and up and away. Alright, 2,000. Half reverse Cuban coming at you. Power out. Open it up. This will be our vertical loop. Alright, coming back in, fix the line. Nice low entry. 300 knots, 100 feet. Up we go. Uh-oh, I think I might have just lost the engine. Yeah, we blew the engine. It's okay. We'll dead stick the landing.
Sheriff, this is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
We're okay.
I just want to tell you both, good luck. We're all counting on you.
We might be a little bit of trouble here.
Where am I?
That's okay. We're good. Up the flaps. I don't know what we're gonna have in terms of brakes. Stick around, guys. I'll reboot and we'll give it one more go. Yeah, I think I've just been running the engine too hard. Wasn't too bad for a dead stick though. I was because I've been running it at wide open above the rated manifold, and then this did it like 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So yeah, Dan 10. If I do have a sim issue, the routine's over. But on the day of the performance, I won't obviously have done 5 or 6 run-throughs and gotten the engine nice and hot. So so yeah, that didn't work out too bad as far as the recovery, the dead stick there. We'll just have to. I know we were too quick to get the landing rate predictions in on that one, so I apologize for that. But yeah, didn't end up too bad. Can you not leave the cow flaps open? Yeah, I don't really know. I haven't studied this plane well enough to know whether that's a thing or whether it does. It certainly causes reduced visibility because it does impede your forward view. I don't know what it does in terms of cooling. Anyway, it's all good, guys. Stick around. We'll get back to the main menu and we'll boot back in and we'll try it one more time. Galesburg. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're going to do it clear weather. Airshow weather, as they call it. There we go. So, Dr. Monocle, I do know if you run it too hard overcooled, if you run it at too low a temperature, that can hurt it too, right? So, I mean, there's two things that can happen with these radials. They're very finicky. If the temperature gets too high, then there's too much pressure, the cylinders crack. If you run it too low, it's too cold, the oil blows past the cylinder, and you start burning oil, and then you once you run out of oil, then that's no good either. All right, well, at least now, guys, you get to see the startup from the beginning. Let me reset all my levers. Go ahead and sync those forward and back. Parking brake is on. Gears down. Everything else is down. Magneto's off. Okay. Let's pop out of the slide right over there. Okay, good. Okay, here we go. One more complete run through of our demo for 1 month from today. For starters, let's pull the armaments, let's pull the drop tanks and stuff off of it. We don't need any of that stuff, so we'll get our battery on. Get all the extra tanks off. We'll leave the chocks where they are, and then we'll get the gun sight out of the way also, just to increase our forward visibility. Close that up. Battery can come back off. Canopy open, by the way. Okay, so we'll crank the prop around twice. Fuel selector goes to the reserve. Prop and mix full forward. Throttle to about 10%. Magnetos to both. Battery on, fuel pump on, primer on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Primer off. Engine start. Guard it. Fuel pump off. Instruments and battery. And we'll let that slowly come up to 1,000 RPMs. We'll get all the coolers open. Get the wings unfolded. That's a beauty to watch from the front. I love how they're not perfectly in sync either, like they really, for real, you know, in the real world wouldn't be. Wings folded and pin locked. Canopy can come closed. What else, guys? Oh, fuel selector can now go to the main. We got everything. I am going to set QFE, meaning that we're going to set the altimeter to where it reads 0 at field elevation. And again, we do that so that no matter where we perform this air show, we're making the overhead maneuvers, you know, the pointing toward the ground stuff starts at the same altitude above the ground level, regardless of what's on the gauge. You don't want to have to do a whole bunch of mental math and forget which field you're at and what the field elevation is. Just set it to QFE, and that way you're always doing that over top maneuver at 2,000 or what have you. Alright, we are good to go, guys. Yeah, Dan, you don't want to, you don't want to have to be, you don't want to be in the middle of your inversion and go, oh, wait a minute, crap, was the field elevation 1,200 or 1,600 today? PMET says, after the practice, could we request a tutorial on a maneuver? I don't know that I'm the best expert. I am certainly not, I mean, I know a little bit, but I don't know that I consider myself knowledgeable enough to be an authority on how to teach this stuff. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, I've certainly opened the questions. Flaps 20. Cow's coming closed. Set. Tail comes up, we'll kick it to the right, hopefully. Oh, this time I wanted a left kick, that's weird. Yeah, it's very, very dancy on the takeoff roll. Once we get to 100 though, we'll get it airborne. Gear up. Flaps in. 45 and 25. 030 and pitch to 120. Yeah, we'll take this first one to 3,000. Power out. Inverter. Over the top we go. Power coming back in. Right on the line, not too bad. Alright, let's bring her down 50 feet on the 50 feet and 300 knots. Alright, up and away. 1,000. 2,000. Power out. Invert. Over the top. I got a little squirrely on our line here. Let's see if we can get it corrected, and then we'll roll toward the show 2 times. A little sloppy, but we got it. Correct out to the left. There's 2000s. And there's our buildings. Now we're back in. And falling off of our line here. This is our inverted pass. Let's see if we can get it down. Down, down, down. Yeah, it's really sloppy, really sloppy. Okay, the exit was good, but the pass itself was really sloppy. Still offline, but not as bad. This will be our vertical loop. Steady pull. Power out intentionally that time. Nice gentle pull. We're okay here. We're okay. Yeah, that was nice. Two, half reverse Cuban, another ouch. Alright, alignment was much better that time. Let's stay over the runway rather than the crowd. Right at show center will pop up. Straight up, straight up, straight up, and then let's turn. As soon as we can't keep the sun anymore, power out. Find our runway. We want to come out on the 3 side. Oh, 3 side, sorry. One final time, 2000s. This will be our carrier brake and landing. So we're kind of offline on the initial entry. But we will make this nice high-speed 100-foot initial. Our numbers, we're going to go power out, nose up to 500, nose level to 1000s, and turn. Guys can start putting some predictions into the chat as far as the vertical descent rate upon touchdown. No bot command necessary. Just a number into the chat, positive or negative. We know that you mean a descent rate either way. And the closest predictor, with or without the minus sign, gets an automatic entry into our monthly landing rate raffle. Next one will be pulled on May the 31st. A little high. Put it into a nice gentle descent just to use some of that altitude to keep the speed up. Midfield. Speed's below 2. Gear. There's our lake, 500 over the lake. There's 2. There's 3. And it didn't quite round out the turn as well as previously. Try and make the first turn off. Pretty sloppy alignment on the touchdown too. Yeah, we got it. Canopy open. Flaps. Doors. Yeah, so if that's the demo that I perform on a month from today, I won't be too dissatisfied with it. A little bit of sloppiness I got to clean up. That inverted pass was the worst, I think. That's the one I needed to work on the most. Just got to get that nice and smooth. I got to watch the nose more than I watch the altimeter on that. That's the thing. Other than that, though, I think for the most part that demo's really coming together. And then we'll take it all the way to the shutdown, fold the wings and all. No, I'm not going to where you're pointing me, Mr. Marshall. You're pointing me to the wrong spot. Yeah, I felt pretty good about that overall. Felt pretty good overall about that demo. A couple little things to clean up, but I think we'll put on a good show. Yeah, it's Cold Nebo. It says it's a tricky bird, especially on the landing. It's worse on takeoff than landing for me right now. Okay, parking brake. Yeah, what would be a good plane to start learning aerobatics in? I don't know. I don't do a lot of them. I pretty much set out to learn them in this plane, and there we go. So I don't know if that process will work for you, Dan, or what, but it works for me. All right, let me get this plane shut down, and then we'll go over the winning number here. So first and foremost, we're going to get those folded up. Again, that's just a cool thing to watch from the outside. The canopy is open. We'll go ahead and close all the cooling flaps. While we're waiting on that, we can get the radio master off. Which one is that? And the instruments off. Okay, that's all done. Throttle is down. Mix can come to cutoff. Prop lever down. Magneto's off. And fuel selector back off. And then once we turn the battery off, the canopy will close up. I'm not sure why that does that. But there she is. Okay, and the... So I think I'm probably just carrying a little too much speed on the touchdown. That's why we're bouncing it so badly. But 235 was the number that registered, so I hope that you all were guessing on the high side. Let's see. 99, 154, 112, 172, 180, 143. Was 180 the highest? I think it's the 180 from Cold Nebo that's going to take it, right? Right. Yeah, best of luck, says P-Man. Yeah, thank you very kindly. Cold Nebo, it's the Virtual USA Flying Club Air Show. It's going to be 1 month from today, in fact, June the 15th. Saturday, June 15th, 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And twitch.tv/JeffOryB, JEFFORYB. That's where the main broadcast is going to be. Of course, many of the performers are live streaming their performance from their in-cockpit view. Jeffrey B. will be the director from the show center, and he'll be the announcer/MC as well. So he'll be the one you want to watch, but you will indeed see many of us stream our in-cockpit cameras during our performances as well. So Cold Nebo gets that last entry into our landing rate raffle, and for those of you who might be new to the stream, the way that works is every time I perform a landing on the stream, you guys get your predictions into the chat as far as the descent rate upon touchdown, and we don't ever need a bot command. We know that the minus sign is optional too. We know we mean a descent rate whether you put the minus sign or not, and whoever gets closest gets an automatic entry into our monthly landing rate raffle. And then toward the end of every single month, we'll actually pull 2 winners out of that fishbowl. So on May the 31st, this time, Cold Nebo, is when we will pull that that raffle, those 2 winners. So you don't need to be here for that. I will contact you if you're one of our winners and you're not here that day. But May the 31st is when we'll do the next one. And if you are one of the 2 winners that comes out of the fishbowl that day, you'll get your choice of any item off of the prize vault list, which is our Slant Alpha t-shirt, ball cap, mouse pad, coffee mug, or tote bag. Or if you'd rather have an electronic gift card, you can choose Amazon or xplane.org store or simmarket.com. If you choose the merch, I'll ship to you at my cost. If you choose the electronic gift card, obviously it comes right to you digitally, so there you go. We reset all the entries after each drawing and start collecting them over again for the following month. So yeah, two winners each month, and then we do a whole bunch of other giveaways as well. Got a big giveaway night coming up at the end of June, as we are coming up on our 6-year anniversary of the live stream. We'll do a big giveaway night on that evening as well. And by the way, thank you to everyone who continues to support the channel financially, all of the subscriptions and the gift subs and the cheer bits and the donations. Those are what fund all these giveaways. This live stream is not something that I do for a living or even for a side hustle. The money that comes into the stream comes back to you in terms of the monthly giveaways and the other special day giveaways that we do on the stream. So thank you kindly for the continued support. And I do think I need to... We got a couple followers there that came over from Sim Caesar. We got Dr. Hassenbean and PMet with the follows, and I hope that I said hi to most of you guys in the chat, although I'm sure I missed a handful. But thanks to everybody who came over with the Sim Caesar raid. We typically broadcast for you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 2300 Zulu time during the summer months at least, and most often flying with that old school analog style of radio-based navigation. That's what slant alpha means. So you don't often see a GPS or an inertial navigation system or a flight management computer here. We typically navigate with that old school analog style in the planes. Of course, we do a fair amount of VFR flying too, especially now that we have this beautiful sim with this this global digital replica that we get to fly around and see every single landmark that we would see out the window in the real aircraft, pretty much. So. But yeah, mostly that radio-based style of navigation. That's what the Slant Alpha stands for, and that's what we stand for. The next show for you is coming up on Friday. It is the Friday Night Ops event that is being hosted by... Hang on, let me get the show... the VAT USA calendar. It's a West Coast Friday Night Ops event. They're staffing up a ton of their Deltas. Where is that? The Class D spree is what they're calling it. So Seattle and Oakland and Los Angeles will all be staffed up. And of course, they're staffing up most of their Class Delta airports. We are going to be in the PMDG-6. So you want to talk about your Pratt & Whitney double WASP engines. So Friday, we're going to have 4 of those suckers. And we're going to strap them to the vintage airliner that is the Douglas DC-6, the PMDG rendition of it. We're going to fly from... Where are we flying from? I think it's Portland to Burbank. Just a one big long haul. We're going to be reenacting a United flight from the I think it's the 1950 schedule. Let me see. Flight 650 from September 1947 of United. We're timetableimages.com. We got all these vintage timetables. If we go to a list of complete timetables and we do US and we do United... United Airlines, September 47, and we go to the 6th page. We can see here that, where is it? What did I say it was? Flight 650. Maybe it's over yonder. Maybe I got the page wrong. Anyway, we got one of them. Oh yeah, here it is. And then the triangle. It's the triangle. I think it tells you on a later page. The triangle stands for what they call the mainliner 300, which is indeed the Douglas DC-6. So it's on a later page. But here it is, Flight 650. Leaves Seattle, Tacoma, goes to Portland, and then it leaves Portland, goes all the way straight. They called it the Golden State Run. Portland all the way down to Los Angeles. And if we were to look on the information page, we would see that the Los Angeles airport that they use was called at the time Lockheed Air Terminal, which is now known as Burbank Airport. So that'll be at DC-6 all the way down the west coast from Portland down to Burbank. Wow, this is all going on. Seattle, Oakland, and Los Angeles will be staffed up, and all their Class Delta airfields will be. So that is our plan for Friday, and so we will see you then at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 2300 Zulu Time. Hope that you will stop back and see us again Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern, 2300 Zulu. That's our normal show schedule. Now, there's a number of days that we have to miss in May and June because of some personal obligations, work obligations, and then, again, obviously for Flight Sim Expo, which we'll be traveling to in Las Vegas, Nevada. You see that ad flashing across the bottom of the screen. We're less than 6 weeks away from that now. I think we're coming up on 5 weeks away from that. 5 weeks from tomorrow is when I leave to head out to Las Vegas. As I have continued to say, guys, I am a pretty recognizable fellow. You know what I look like. I'm this, and I'm big. So if you see me walking around the hallways of the Rio Hotel, remember, you know what I look like. I may not know what you look like. You're more than welcome to come up to me, get my attention, tap me on the shoulder, say hi, introduce yourself. I am not at all shy about that. Please, I mean, I invite you to do that. I am going to be one of the featured speakers on Sunday. I will be on the FS Elite stage from 12:15 to 1 p.m. Pacific time, giving a seminar on joining global aviation networks, online aviation networks. So that is the only time you cannot interrupt me just to introduce yourself. Outside of that span, please feel free to do that. But anyway, yeah, looking out for that event so much. It's for those of you who don't know, 3-day event out in Las Vegas, and it's a massive conference and trade show. And when we say conference, we're talking about 3 days worth of seminars, presentations, panel discussions, product unveilings for that entire event. The conference. The trade show is 2 days of a massive show floor with pretty much every hardware and software vendor in flight simulation marketplace that you can even think of, all represented out there showing off their products and services that you can try and buy, and even some real-world pilot training resources will be on display out there for you to check out on that massive trade show floor. On top of all that, though, as amazing as all that is, and truly is, really doesn't even hold a candle to the best part of the event, which is the opportunity for all of us, like 2,000 of us, all with the similar passions and similar interests, to all come together, basically have 2,000 instant friends. Like I said, more than welcome to come up and say hi to me. And if I've met you before, please don't take it personally if I don't remember putting faces to names, but you're more than welcome to come up and say hi, whether you met me before or not. Absolutely, I'm not shy about that at all, even a big hug if you want. But yeah, the opportunity for all of us to connect and hang out with our friends that we make through these global online aviation networks that I'll be speaking about. It's our one chance to get us all together and hang out and have fun and talk shop and again, put names to put faces to digital names and so forth. So that's coming up 5 weeks from tomorrow, and super looking forward to that. Hope that you are too. Hope that you'll be able to get out there, and we will look forward to that. Counting down the hours, literally. Do I need to do the hours countdown? I will. I know I'm yammering on, but we'll 846 hours until I leave for the airport to head out to Flight Sim Expo in Las Vegas. We talked briefly about the Discord. I know that we do have our full show schedule down under the About tab. It's also over on our Discord server. As I mentioned, there's a number of days that I will be off of my normal Monday, Wednesday, and Friday rotation, so I do invite you to check out that full show schedule under the About tab and make sure that you're clear on what days I'll be on, what days I'll be off, and then you'll even have some information on what I will be up to on any given day. In addition to all of what we call the Slant Alpha, I'm also a VATSIM air traffic controller, and I do that from time to time on the live stream as well. So we invite you to stop back, check out that show schedule, see what you're interested in seeing, and then mark those days down and join us on those days. If you're not able to join us, the videos stay up on Twitch for 2 weeks, and then they end up over on our YouTube channel. So there on the bottom left of your screen is the link to the YouTube, and you can check out our old flight archives, our old flight broadcast archives. Over there also is a playlist called VATSIM Tutorials. So ordinarily, we weren't tonight, but ordinarily we fly on the VATSIM network, and we fly with realistic procedures and communications. And if you need a nudge in the right direction as far as what knowledge you need to have before you can join us and fly cooperatively with us on VATSIM, then there's a list of tutorials there that you can check out that give you information on what to say to controllers, how to put routes together, how to read some of the charts, and how to choose a proper call sign and equipment code and all that sort of stuff. So feel free to check those resources out and then ask any questions you have about them. Write in the comments on those or over on our Discord server. I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so kindly again for the very nice raid. And thank you so kindly for all of you who stopped by and hung out with us this evening. Who are we going to send this raid over to now? Who do we got going on? Doing some flight sim stuff. Looks like Stu is still controlling at, where is he? Is he in Indy? No, he's at Memphis. Stu is still controlling at Memphis. Doesn't look like he's got too much traffic. And then it looks like his friend Foxtrot is also flying around there. So you'll see a bit of a split screen. Foxtrot and Stu, if they are wrapping up, I'm sure they will send you over to one of their trusted friends for some additional flight sim content. But at the very least, go tell Stu that we said hi before he wraps up. And we will talk to you again on Friday. So Friday from the cockpit of the DC-6 up in Portland, Oregon, in the DC-6. We will see you then. Have a great rest of your week, friends. And please do me a favor, be healthy and safe in all of your own travels and adventures between now and then, guys. Take care. Good night.